Just a picture of where it crash landed.
A park and sculptures in Holland mark the spot where 70 years ago, East Tennessee-born Clinton Riddle made his second combat crash landing in a glider.
For some reason or other, the pilot chose to land in that plowed field, and underneath the glider is a runner's, and it caught in dirt and stood it on its nose. Threw me again a crash bar and then in the shoulder.
That rough landing thrust Riddle headlong into World War II's Operation Market Garden. He recalls in vivid detail the opening fight and the heavy losses.
And when we got about halfway across that meadow, the fog lifted, and they just mowed us down.
How did you survive?
Good Lord was with me, and I used what little knowledge I had. I would dodge back and forth. I wouldn't run in a straight line. And so many of the boys that are running in a straight line, and of course the only thing they had to do was just cut down on them. Especially the battle on the plains of Mook, when it killed every officer except one.
Riddle says the death of 2nd Lieutenant Willis A. Utek stands out.
And somebody buried him. We never knew who buried, whether it's Germans, whether it's Americans. They didn't find him for 50 years. I was there when he was killed.
And this Tennessee soldier was back 70 years later in a cornfield in Holland to mark the original burial spot of a fellow gliderman from Kansas.
I was just glad to be there to put the flowers on the spot where he's buried in remembrance of him, just to remember him, honor him.
How were you treated?
With open arms.
Riddle made the return trip to Holland thanks to the generosity of locals who picked up the tab for his overseas journey.
They all lined up. They all wanted to shake hands with me.
Back in his Sweetwater home,
10, 11, 12, 13, right. That's the boys that's with me in the glider.
Riddle reads all 13 names scratched onto a hunk of canvas he cut from that glider after landing.
And you can still see the writing real faint.
It is among his favorite keepsakes.
Well, it rates rather high.
In part because Riddle believes he is the last of this bunch still alive and able to recall that historic flight, landing, and fight.